This video is for people who are suffering from stress, anxiety and worry. It's for people who are unable to concentrate because their minds are so busy. It's for people who find it difficult to relax, difficult to sleep. It's for people who constantly worry about things they have no control over. It's for people who feel worn down and unhappy because of tension. And it's for people who are worried about their health because of any of these things. If any of that sounds like you, you might find the techniques I'm about to tell you about very, very helpful. The methods I'm talking about are meditation and mindfulness. And those terms can put some people off because they think they have to be religious or weird in some way. In actual fact, these are scientifically proven psychological tools which have been in existence for thousands of years and which are used by millions of people all over the world. And the reason they're used so widely is because they're so effective at helping you deal with the stresses and strains of modern day life. We put this video together to explain what led us to meditation in the first place and to also explain the benefits that we've had since we started practicing, because it's our belief that they can do the same for you. Now, people come to meditation for all kinds of reasons. In our case, there were just two. So the first was just life stuff. I used to be the most highly stressed person on two legs, constantly in a rush, always missing appointments, always late, ratty and very disorganised. I couldn't settle, I couldn't relax. It made sleep pretty much impossible. I'd go to bed at night and often spend the whole night tossing and turning, trying to quieten my mind down. Sometimes I'd get to the early hours and see the sun coming up and hear the birds outside the window and realise I'd been awake the whole night through. So then I'd fill myself up with coffee and try to get through the day filled with nervous energy and caffeine, with a bad head and feeling worn out. And that's pretty much how I was spending my life, completely frazzled, worn out with my nerves on edge. In fact, this is the way that many of us are living our lives these days, faced with traffic problems, job issues, overcrowding, office politics, family problems, financial issues, and any of the 1,000,001 other things that stress us out in modern day society. And you can't go on for long like this before it starts to affect your health. When our bodies are constantly in fight or flight mode, our hearts are working overtime, our bloodstream is flooded with toxic stress hormones, and our muscles are under constant tension. So it's no wonder that stress is widely cited as the biggest killer in today's society, and it's precisely why diseases and complaints such as irritable bowel syndrome, heart disease, nervous tension headaches and a host of other complaints are so common. In my case, I got to the point where I badly needed to make some changes. My business was suffering, my relationships were suffering, and I was becoming very unhappy. So, along with my partner Sally, I started to look for some solutions. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, or sometimes we say that life has a funny way of giving us exactly what we need. Well, in our case, that was true. It was quite a shocking and unexpected event which gave us the final push to go and learn meditation and mindfulness. And although it was very unpleasant, we're actually very grateful that that happened because it gave us so many benefits once we'd learned these techniques. Now, I'm not telling you this for sympathy or for shock value or for any other reason than for you to see what actually drew us to meditation in the first place and the marvellous effect it has had on us. In 2010, we were subjected to a knife attack which very nearly killed us both at our own home while we were sleeping. And although the injuries were horrendous and it was completely horrifying, the actual event, that was actually nothing compared with what we went through afterwards, which was the post-traumatic stress disorder. It's almost like having a black cloud drop over you or a black curtain shutting you out from the rest of the world. It's the most frightening, horrifying experience that I feel anyone can go through, certainly in my experience. And after about 2 years of living in our own version of hell, we finally took responsibility and decided we had to learn some techniques to get out of this. And we were led to a retreat where we learned Zen meditation and mindfulness, and the effects were absolutely amazing and life-changing. We noticed the benefits immediately. Within the first few hours, we were able to relax deeply and have freedom from the trauma, the horror, the anguish, the worry, and the anxiety that had been plaguing us day to day. Our minds were able to settle and we were able to relax. In fact, that first night, I was able to get my first full night's sleep for years. I remember waking up in the morning and thinking, wow, I've just had a full night's sleep without tossing and turning and without waking up every few minutes. And that stayed with us ever since. As long as we practice, we feel relaxed, calm, centered, with a quiet mind. But the effects go beyond that. You have waves of happiness that just bubble up for no apparent reason at various times during the day. And generally, you feel calmer and more in control. It gives you a way of coping with the day-to-day stresses of life. Now, I can tell you from experience that meditation has completely changed our lives for the better, and Sally would do the same. There are millions of people all over the world who will testify that giving yourself just 30 minutes or so a day to practice some very simple meditation and mindfulness exercises can bring you all kinds of benefits. Benefits like being more productive and more creative, being able to think clearly, being able to focus your mind, being able to relax more deeply, being generally happier, and being able to cope so much better with all the stresses and strains of modern day life. And the exercises are very simple. They take only 30 minutes a day, and if you want to find out more about them, we'll explain how to meditate at theliferaft.org. In some of the other videos and resources on our website, we'll explain a little bit more about what meditation is and how to develop your own practice.